Welcome to our introductory course on Eternalism. Unit 3, Every Legitimate Religion of Philosophy. In Unit 3, we continue from Unit 2 with a key insight. Every legitimate religion is a philosophy. In this unit, we'll explore the full significance of this idea as we delve deeper into the nature and scope of eternalism. We'll also consider Brigham Young's challenge and admonition to the Latter-day Saints of his day to cease being children and become philosophers. Let's begin with this observation. Almost every Latter-day Saint knows that the everlasting gospel provides a Christ-centered and covenant-based path to eternal salvation. But how many Latter-day Saints know that the everlasting gospel is a philosophy as well as a religion? And yet consider these insightful words of church historian and theologian B.H. Roberts. The new gospel dispensation is a system of philosophy as well as a religion. Indeed, every religion that is worthwhile must be a philosophy. It must give some accounting of things if it is to be of any permanent service in the world. Again, philosophy gives a systematic accounting of man's relationship to reality, while theology gives a systematic accounting of man's relationship to God. For a religion to offer lasting value, it must address both of these relationships. With this accounting of man's relationship to reality in mind, John A. Whitsoe writes, "Religion becomes then, first, an explanation of man and the universe, second, a guide to conduct, and third, a conviction according to which a person orders his life. In religion, thinkers must have their feet upon the ground." One must never forget that religion must account for man's relationship to reality as well as to God. Because, as stated in Unit 1, reality is foundational, and the everlasting gospel rises from this eternal truth. And for thinkers to have their feet upon the ground, this foundational connection to reality is fundamental and non-negotiable. With that said, here is a diagram illustrating the threefold nature of our Latter-day Saint religion, showing how the Christ-centered, covenant-based, and reality-based aspects of the everlasting gospel are interconnected. The philosophy of eternalism plays a key role in making the gospel's implicit, reality-based foundation explicit. This reality-based philosophical aspect of the gospel is so vital that Brigham Young urged the Latter-day Saints of his time to cease to be children and become philosophers. He declared, "This people have embraced the philosophy of eternal lives, and in view of this, we should cease to be children and become philosophers, understanding our own existence, its purpose, and ultimate design." Considering the common Latter-day Saint aversion to philosophy, particularly with the long-standing caution to beware of the philosophies of men mingled with Scripture, one might understandably respond with some confusion and in these words, "But I thought philosophy was a bad thing." Here is our response to this confusion. False philosophies are bad, just as false religions are bad. But a true philosophy, like a true religion, is a good thing, a very good thing. Brigham Young responds in this way, "Our religion is simply the truth. It is all said in this one expression. It embraces all truth wherever found, in all the works of God and man that are visible and invisible to mortal eye, whether religious, political, or philosophical." Elsewhere he declares, "I am a witness that Mormonism is true upon philosophical principles. Every particle of sense I have proves it to be sound natural reason." To conclude, I'd like to propose two calls to action inspired by Elder Whitsoe's counsel that, in religion, thinkers must have their feet upon the ground. I'll also share a quote from Brigham Young to illustrate this grounded philosophical perspective. The first call to action is to embrace the gospel as a philosophy and a religion. This means that to be grounded, Latter-day Saints should understand gospel principles as rooted in philosophical truths and reality-based principles. The second call to action is to adopt eternalism as a guide. For the philosophy of eternalism brings these truths and reality-based principles into focus, enriching our understanding of the gospel. Finally, as an example of this grounded philosophical perspective, Consider the gospel and philosophical implications of these words from Brigham Young pertaining to the God whom we worship. I was led to reflect that there is no act, no principle, no power belonging to the deity that is not purely philosophical. This ends this Unit 3 presentation. Thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed these presentations and would like to see more, please subscribe and click the like button. Join us for Unit 4, where we introduce the 5 E's of Eternalism. And be sure to take the Unit 3 overview quiz to deepen your understanding of the gospel and the philosophy of eternalism.